I don't know. The if I take off the microphone, you can't hear me hear me anymore. Sorry about that. Um, interesting information. Sort of wanted to come on here to talk, but it's like honestly difficult. It's always really awkward whenever I do stuff like this. I honestly don't even know what to say most of the time. And it's either I talk too much or I talk too little and ends up making whatever person who ends up joining leave. Weird. Right now I'm currently building a church. I don't really know what to exactly do with the church because I don't really have much space here. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. That's just me checking up on the video and stuff like that. Yeah, whenever I do stuff like this, I make sure to hit my computer in the background so I could go ahead and check. I don't know. I remember, like, I know this is kind of random, but I was just literally on TikTok a couple seconds ago after re-downloading it. I ended up deleting it because it was simply too boring to me, and it was honestly making my relationship with God absolutely terrible. So, I went on a live stream, and I saw them trying to say stuff like, God was fake, and it was like, if you prove God doesn't exist, I'm gonna give you $1,000. That was the live stream, and it was honestly this dude who had a lot of misinformation almost, like he didn't really know what he was saying, but at the same time he was still trying to disprove a lot of the claims being made that proves that God doesn't exist. I didn't really have much of a problem with it. It was just almost like if he didn't exactly know what he was saying, so he had issues with arguing with other people and debating simply because of the fact that he didn't really know himself what to say. And I remember I used to go through this very issue and even sometimes get messed up on certain terms in Christianity simply because of the fact that there's a lot that we don't know about God. And they're trying to say stuff like you can't disprove a negative and stuff like that. You know, all scientific terms and terminology and stuff like that. Basically what was happening, there was, I don't even know why, but they were talking about shapes, and they said it had something to do with God, and this one dude came on, and he said, prove to me that God does exist before I disprove the existence of Christ. And he said, well, if, and he said something that was kind of weird in a way, because he said, well, if I don't have enough evidence, if I don't have sufficient evidence, does that mean that God doesn't exist? And the guy said yes, which is wrong. You could still, like, not exactly have proof for something, but it could still be real. That has been debunked so many times, but you know. And he kept on talking to him, and the more he talked, the more the guy in the background started laughing because he didn't exactly know how to prove God, but at the same time he knew that he existed. So when you're in the case of you know God is real, but you can't prove his existence and you don't have enough evidence, it's the case. Because you can't exactly prove God with science and the simple fact that his being is exactly on earth, but at the same time he brought Jesus to earth, if that makes any sense, you know. Our minds cannot understand and comprehend the Trinity, just as God gave us a certain amount of understanding. We don't know exactly why God gave us that amount of understanding, but we don't really need to know. And the Bible is very vague about certain things, and I know it might seem rude to say that the Bible is vague, but in the Bible, sometimes you need to connect dots between different stories and stuff like that, and many times Christians have to prove certain things that are both scientific and in the Bible. So it was a very interesting topic that kind of got me thinking for a little bit. I've seen guys that are saying stuff like, oh, you can't prove the existence of God, stuff like this, do science. You can't, like, there's nothing in science that says that God is real. Well, science, the definition doesn't exactly fit God in the sense of you can't prove him through science, but you can prove him through other things. And people don't take personal experiences of, you know, feeling God's grace as really proof and evidence of God. And it's like, if you don't want to listen to the personal experiences that people have faced, why exactly are you here to say that God doesn't exist? You don't even want to listen yourself, yet you're saying that God doesn't exist. Whenever people actually give you evidence, you say it's not evidence because it's personal experience, and personal experience isn't evidence to many scientists and stuff like that. And I really just think that's incorrect in a sense. Personal experience can 100% be evidence, but sometimes you can even prove personal experience. But when it comes to God, you know, if people were to find out that God was real, a lot of people would convert to Christianity, but God wants you to have faith. Of course, it isn't blind faith, because even in the Bible, pretty sure this was Moses, but he had asked God for actual evidence of his existence. God gave him that evidence before Moses turned to God. Pretty sure that was Moses, not exactly sure though. I might be wrong on that. But it's like, God doesn't want you to rely on blind faith. He wants you to 100% know that he's real, even with faith. And, you know, with the evidence that you have been given, and through the evidence that you can really research. So I see many people saying stuff like, personal experience isn't evidence. Well, to you it might not be evidence since you never went through it, but I personally believe that that's evidence that qualifies. You may not believe that, but that's perfectly fine to me. And there's so many people who would say stuff like, oh, God doesn't exist because, you know, you're saying that he does based on what you experienced, but it didn't happen to me, so that means he doesn't exist. Well, there's many things that you haven't experienced. Like, nobody has actually seen the Big Bang Theory, but science has been able to exist. Personally, I believe it exists, but I believe that certain things happened that science doesn't really speak about when it comes to the Big Bang Theory. I believe it can be proved through science, but God had a part with the Big Bang Theory. That's what I personally believe. So, as I just said, yeah, I ran out of topics to talk about, bro. Why did I laugh like that? That was so weird. I find it quite interesting. When it comes to and debates like this, so they get you to debate, they're like, you don't have me, so that automatically you don't know anything about God. What if I just you and I want to have a civil conversation about it going to absolute arguments? I think you could have a civil debate, but most of the people that I try to debate are automatically up in arms about sort of talking over that and trying to necessarily get me to have a certain reaction. Sometimes I do have a reaction because, you know, we're not perfect. We get mad at these certain, and, you know, you in some place and you need to do a little research. Many understand argue a lot because, you know, they're trying to understand it. Sometimes we don't exactly want God to prove his existence. He probably doesn't, but that's fine. What the heck? But the thing about it is you could have a theological argument, and sometimes people... What the heck? That was freaking weird. People just get way too extra about it. So many people think that Christianity is blind faith because we quote-unquote didn't know anything about it. But even if you don't believe in Jesus' miracles, he has been proven through history, and he is a historical figure, whether you believe that, you know, his miracles existed. They even proved that, yes, he did die on the cross, whether you believe that or not. Because so many people say science doesn't care about your feelings, but when it comes to this, God doesn't care about what you feel about him. And in the case of, you know, you feel as if he's fake, but God knows he's real. And whether you believe that we can prove that or not, well, it's as simple as that. We could do many examples in order to prove this, but what the heck? But it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because there's no part in the Bible that says that God wants you to blindly believe in him. He says believe without seeing, but that applied to something else entirely. And well, he didn't say believe without hearing, and many people have heard the voice of Christ, and you know, they have personal experiences and stuff like that. But so many people who hear that they have personal experiences are quick to call them delusional, say that they need to go to the hospital, but they don't hear them out, because automatically it is, you are delusional, you're seeing stuff, you're hearing stuff, and yeah. Hold up, cause I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. The heck are you listening to? I don't even know which type of church I'm building currently. I believe Pentecostal, because personally I go to a Pentecostal church and it looks kind of like this in a sense. Pentecostal churches are kind of interesting, honestly. So I believe a stage up here. Yeah, there was a stage up here. The seats, you know, they have those seats that you usually find in a church. It's like 1, 2, 3. I believe it's like 4 seats, but I don't really have enough space for that. So we have this right here, and you have the little gaps right here, so people cross and go onto the big gap right here. Only gonna build a couple. I don't really have enough space for that. Now we have, now we have the stage right over here. The most embarrassing stage. Literally went to the Pentecostal church and I had a voice crack while singing, like 10 or something like that. Still remember it. literally the worst thing I've ever experienced in a church. It's fine. I was still singing for Christ, so it doesn't really matter what they thought about it. Yeah, this looks absolutely terrible when it comes to this. I don't even know why I added this. Still fine though. Leave. Oh wait, I forgot. Oh man, I forgot about this. I just built it, but we have like something back here too. Wait. I'm over here not remembering anything. So, I'm trying to remember like the color scheme of what exactly it is. This looks really ugly on the outside, doesn't matter though. The color scheme, I believe it's like red, white, and stuff like that. Can I do this with clay? I don't know. It's like, probably like, I don't know how to measure this. I could look up my church, but I forgot the name of it. I think it's like the Church of Life. I don't know. I was just about to say the Church of Jesus Christ, but that's probably, Jehovah's Witness. I think it is Jehovah's Witness. What did they even witness, honestly? It's not even trying to be disrespectful. I never really got, you know, what exactly a Jehovah's Witness even was to begin with. Like, I tried to do research, but I really just don't understand it all that much. Or the idea of a Mormon. I believe that a Mormon believes that, right after they die on the planet, I believe, but I don't exactly know. And it was something. Yeah, the color scheme is completely off for this Pentecostal church, but it's fine, because I kind of remember out on the outside it's like brown and there's big doors. I do remember the big doors because there was sort of like a lobby area right over here. Completely different from the actual church. But I do remember something like the roof was a lot bigger and it had like a picture here of Jesus and with a rock. I believe he was pointing his head at a lamb. No, there was like some light source that came out of the sky and he was praying. Believe next to a disciple. I don't know. And also they had like a bunch of wooden, not planks, I was just, for lack of better words, I'm gonna say planks, but it was like wooden planks up here, and there was two fans up here. What could I do in order to replace that? I could put down this, but that looks weird. Yeah, I could place these. And no, I wanted to go more up. Up like this. Alright, and right over here. I do remember we had like a downstairs and it was like a back room. I said background, I mean bathroom. We had, yeah, this is completely off on the actual church, but we had something here, and it was like a lead to the basement, and the basement is where, we had, Bible studies, yeah, that, why am I just starting to remember, and I already, like, built the whole entire thing. Still didn't build a couple of details, but, you know. remember going to Bible studies like a couple months ago. I legit looked so nerdy in front of everybody, but it kind of embarrassed me, but at the same time I didn't really care because I'm not doing it for them. Like, who cares what they think? Alright, almost done that part. This looks really bad, but it's perfectly fine. Just for details, not that we had a glass up here, but I can't even add it. No. Let me add. That's fine. Alright, now when it came to here, it was sort of like a stage. And, what am I doing? Stage back here, and I don't exactly remember what they put in the stage, but it was sort of like I believe it was Mary. No, this is not a Catholic church. I'm not saying that they're the only ones who have Marys, but it sort of looked at I don't know how to describe it, but it was like, it was not a Mary statue, it was like a statue of an angel. And you know, those very stereotypical ones. No. That's rude. I apologize. But biblical angels versus, you know, how usual Christians define it, it's very different. They're still beautiful though. Believe it was like, I'm gonna just put glass right here. I don't even know why I'm doing it, but I am. Yeah, this isn't what it looked like. Isn't what it looks like. Why do I talk like that? Alright, this isn't what it looks like, but it's perfectly fine. Yeah, right here, and they talked. They praised the Lord. I saw it was a family member who felt the Holy Ghost, and she started going on the ground. I remember my first time seeing that. Kind of creeped me out because I didn't understand it at the time, but you know, I just have a different experience with that sort of stuff. Also, another thing that I remembered, because I do know that we have red carpet on the floor. I guess I was sick or something like that. I don't even know where I ate something bad. Kind of gross, but I threw up on the floor. It was like on, I believe, 3rd row. Why am I remembering this just now? I don't know. Yeah, because we had like a piano or the drums, and this was where the piano was. No, it was sort of like they were together almost, and the piano was right here. No, the drums were right here, the piano was right here. It's not like I'm actually gonna build that, because I honestly don't even know how to, but you know. Item frames, because that makes sense, because I believe the current church that I'm in used to be like for a purpose, like the building, so they had like symbols up here. Of course they covered it up, but it was like, no, they didn't cover it up, but you know, they didn't really pay attention to it, because you know, it's not exactly what it was. You know, it's a church, not what it was last. I believe my sister told me what it was. Yeah, she did. It was like, I don't know if it was like that, but it's fine. I remember when I was first getting out of church, and yeah, it was when I was getting out of church, the pastor, He was right here. Came up to him. I was a little fetus, basically. He put his hand out so I could shake his hand, and I freaking high-fived him. And my mom just stared at me literally for a couple of seconds and laughed, but very embarrassing. I was very shy. I'm still shy, but you know. Also, something else that happened, because I just remembered it, but I was in the seats. They were playing a game where I guess you were supposed to name the characters, like Jesus and stuff like that, like on a chair. They asked who wanted to be next. I raised my hand, but for some weird reason, I didn't get up, even though they called on me to come up since I was raising my hand, and I kept just like putting my hand up, but I didn't exactly get up. Thing is, I didn't really know much about the Bible during this time because they all spoke Spanish on the front stage. They were speaking English during this time because, of course, there's some people in the church who didn't know Spanish, but they had a translator. They don't anymore. I don't know why, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and the freaking Bible studies, why did I say it like that, but they were the only ones who really spoke English throughout the whole entire thing, and they taught in because the kids, of course, they're very different from the parents. A lot of them didn't know Spanish, so yeah. And in the Bible study's basement, there was like one curtain that separated the smaller kids from the big kids. The whole entire point about that, well, of course, because they're younger and, you know, there's certain topics that aren't going to be spoken about, but you could still hear them. Of course, they don't really speak about like certain topics that you would usually expect when you hear that they're separated from the smaller kids, but you know. And of course, because I was older, I had to go with the big kids. Yeah, it was interesting, I guess. And alright, over here, right here. This is the area where the basement is supposed to be, but of course protrudes into the stage, so I'm gonna do that. Make the stage a little bit smaller. Alright. Create big space right here. Big space. No, the door. Alright. I think it, wait, oh my gosh, why am I talking like that? But it slide, yeah, it went, no, it was this way. It was this way, yeah. No, it was this way. This way. No. I believe it was more like inwards. Oh my gosh, why am I worrying about this so much? I'm gonna just leave it like that. I believe it was a 1 block stair. No, 2 block. Remember it. Trying to remember exactly what it looks like. What does it look like? Oh crap, I was over here trying to focus on this. Why am I into the video. Alright, here we go. Am I moving? Are you moving, sir? Yep, you're moving. Alright. Alright, and right here. This looks so weird. Oh. Torch. Alright. The stairs were gray. I believe they were gray. And they had these gray railings on them. Why did I say it like that? Alright, and it went down here. Of course. Why is he laughing? I just heard a llama. Where did it come from? They don't bring animals to the church. Yeah, this seems wrong. What the? Yo! Best friend! It's my friend now. You could come inside. I said they didn't bring any animals to the church, but you're an exception because you're not an animal, you're family. Stop trying to escape me. Disrespectful. I let you in and you do this? No. I'm gonna just leave the church basement like this, even though it's nothing like this. It is much bigger. To quickly explain exactly what the church basement looks like, big, and we have one doorway right here, all the way here, but it's like inside, like more towards this area, but we also have a door right here, which is where we do the Bible studies usually. But let's just make this the whole entire Bible studies. Move! She just freaking screamed at me. Don't do that again. Swear, I'm not gonna take you out of the basement if you do that. Alright, come on. Come on. Maybe your head is just fat. Swear, that's getting me angry. Alright. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Swear. She really be testing me. Vindicator. What do y'all look? This is definitely the pastor. He's... Nah, he has skin. He is not gray, but... Minecraft should have just made Vindicator as church owners. They look like pastors. As soon as you come in here, they have the axe and they're like, Jesus Christ? No, that's Jehovah's Witness. I learned like 5 minutes ago. Hello there. Why did I get out of this? What? Vindicator. Villagers. Villager. Alright, let's get it. Come on. Where is it going? Where are you going? Am I lagging? I can spawn you. What? Alright. So we have I don't know how to say that, but Elder Guardian, Witch, Cave Spider, Glow Squid, Endermites, Axolotl, Warden, Shulker, Phantom. I forgot what those were, but Pillagers. Right? Yep. Iron Golem, Sniffer. What? Oh, you're very beautiful. What do sniffers do? What do you feed them? Torch flower seeds. Finally, make some use out of whatever that is. But I can't just feed them torch flower. Double standards. Here you go. I want to see a baby. Give me a... You're so ugly. It's so ugly. Wait, where is it? Where is it? Are you actually... I just wasted a seed for nothing. I don't even care that I have an unlimited amount of seeds. Children! Children! Oh. Sniffer egg. What do I do with this? Oh. Are you actually... I get this ugly egg? Are you serious? What the heck? I get this ugly egg out of what I just did. I worked very hard for this. Like, I went into creator mode and I worked very hard for this, and all I... Stupid egg. Why are you standing on your... Is this racially motivated? give me eggs. Are you actually? Kill them. You have an axe. Kill them. So how do they get children? Cause these eggs. Get rid of them. So stupid. Alright, the other. Alright. Horse. Polar bear, wolf, rabbit, fox, slime, zombie villager, phantom, and golem, snow golem. I forgot what these were. They're literally so freaking ugly. So, if I go into game mode, survival, game mode survival, would it kill me? If I hit you? Oh, I apologize. I apologize. I am very actions. That was very inappropriate of me. So you do have an axe, but you just pick not to use it when I actually want you to? Stupid. Uh-huh. And now you're gone. Stupid idiot. Now let's go ahead and see the pastors, inside of a church. Hopefully you still are. Where did you go? Are you kind? Are you good? Are you nice? Hi. Hi. This is your brand new pet. You smell it? Hey. Say hi. Stupid idiot. Fight back. Fight back. Come on. Imagine if you could hold Vindicators hostage and trade with them. What would they have? What? Oh my gosh! This is double standards! I get a stupid lame axe. And I just worked so hard to get that too. Stupid idiot. Die. Thank you. How do you have It's not even. I think you're trying to switch teams, swap races. Transracial. Make that joke here. Gonna get banned. Sir, I have something for you. Hey! Come back here! Stupid idiot. Don't. Give me your children!